All right, we're just about set up here. Let's see, make sure the volume is all right. Okay, we got 11 people so far. Okay, everybody, Hare Krishna. So we're going to chant Jai Radhamadava first, and then we'll have a little announcement after that and go on to the Caitanya Caritamrta. And then after the Caitanya Caritamrta, we'll have another announcement. Okay, let's get the guitar. Chant for the deities. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Gopi Janaballabha, Giri Vadodari, Giri Vadodari, Janaballabha, Jaya Giri Vadodari, Giri Vadodari, Yasodanandana, Jaya Jananandana, Yasodanandana, Jaya Jananandana, Yamunatira Manacharaya, Kunjaviyari, Jaya Kunjaviyari, Yamunatira Manachari, Kunjaviyari, Kunjaviyari, Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Vijana Vallabha, Jaya Giri Vadodari, Vijana Vallabha, Jaya Giri Vadodari, Giri Vadodari, Yasodanandana, Jaya Vajajanandana, Yasodanandana, Jaya Vajajanandana, Yamunatira Manachari, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Yamunatira Manachari, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvadagacharya also Teta Satashi Shimad. His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Huidas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopika Padnath Shyam Kund Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Mathuram Ki Jai. Jagannath Swami Ki Jai. Yamunamai Ki Jai. Srimati Lalasi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaura Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. And all glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nibhishesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Dejatarni. So Om Gana Timidanda Shah Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Urmeditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who kindly open our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge while we were blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So now we will continue with the Caitanya Charitamrita, but before that I just want to make an announcement. Tomorrow, at least here in the United States, it's the commemoration of the appearance day of Advaita Acharya. So tomorrow morning in the United States, which is basically the evening, your time, our Bhagavatam class, I'll be speaking about Advaita Acharya. And tomorrow evening, our time, which is morning the next day, your time in Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji, I'll be speaking about Advaita Acharya. So tomorrow is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. So now we'll go on to the Caitanya Charitamrita. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, so I will share the screen with everybody. Let's see, where is that? Huh. Give me 1 second. It's one of these screens. I did open it up. Let's see. That's funny. It's, oh, I see. It's all the way at the bottom. There it is. Okay. And give me a second to set this up. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll begin with text 22. Priche karate chagi prabhulalana palanaha Vairagya loka boye prabhu namane kakana. Jagadananda Pandit, as an incarnation of Satyabhama, always wanted to see to the comfort of Lord Chaitanya. But since the Lord was a sannyasi, he did not accept the luxuries that Jagadananda Pandit offered. So Next verse. Dvijane katmati lagaya kondala tanra prachera kata hage kahiva sakala. They sometimes appeared to fight over trifles, but these quarrels were based on their affection, of which I shall speak later. And I told a story about that last night, how Jagannatha Pandit, just in brief, brought some sandalwood oil for Lord Caitanya. Lord Caitanya didn't want to use it because he was a sannyasi, didn't want to smell like that with sandalwood oil because people would criticize. And Jagannatha smashed the sandalwood oil and said he did not bring sandalwood oil, denying that he did it, even though he did do it. And then, for 3 days, he refused to speak or eat or do anything, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to break his anger after 3 days by asking Jagannatha to cook for him. So that was a story I told last night. Raghava Pandita Prabhora Januchara Tanra Eka Shaka Mukhya Makara Dvajakara. Raghava Pandit, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's original follower, is understood to have been the seventh branch. From him proceeded another sub-branch headed by Makaradwaja Kara. Kara was the surname of Makaradwaja. At present, the surname is generally found in the Kayashta community. The Gora Ganadesh Dipika 166 states, Tanishta Vaksha Samagrim Krishna Yada Brajay Matam Saiva Samprati Gauranga Priyo Raghava Panditaha. Raghava Pandit was formerly a confidential gopi in Braja during the time of Lord Krishna's pastimes, and his former name was Dhanishta. This gopi, Dhanishta, was always engaged in preparing foods for Krishna. So, Tanhara Bhagyani Damayanti Prabhora Priya Dasi Prabhora Bhoga Samakri Yekare Varamasi. Raghava Pandit's sister, Damayanti, was the dear maidservant of the Lord. She always collected various ingredients with which to cook for Lord Chaitanya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhasha that in the Gora Ganadesha Dipika 167 it is mentioned, Guna Mala Brajayasid Damayanti tu Tat Swasa. The gopi named Gunamala appeared as Raghava Pandit's sister Damayanti on the East Bengal Railway line beginning from the Sialda station in Calcutta. There's a station which is not very far from Calcutta. Within 1 mile of the station toward the western side of the Ganges is a village known as Panihati, in which the residential quarters of Raghava Pandit still exist. On Raghava Pandit's tomb is a creeper on a concrete platform. There's also a Madan Mohan deity in a broken-down temple nearby. This temple is managed by a local zamindar of the name Sri Shiva Chandra Raya Chaudhuri. Makaradwaja Kara was also inhabitant of Panihati. Se saba samagri ata jalite mariya Raghava laya yannagu pattakariya. The foods Damayanti cooked for Lord Chaitanya when he was at Puri were carried in bags by her brother Raghava without the knowledge of others. Bharamasata Prabhu Karena Angikara Raghavera Jali Bali Prasiddhi Ahara. The Lord accepted these foods throughout the entire year. Those bags are still celebrated as Raghavera Jali, the bags of Raghava Pandit. Sesaba Samagriyagi Kariva Vishtara Yahara Shabane Bhaktera Vahi Ashudara. I shall describe the contents of the bags of Raghava Pandit later in this book. Hearing this narration, devotees generally cry and tears glide down from their eyes. So a vivid description of these Raghavera Jali, is to be found in chapter 10 of the Ansha Lila portion of Sri Caitanya Charitamrta. Prabhura Atyanta Priya Pandita Ganga Dasa Yanhara Smarane Haya Sarva Bhanda Nasha. Pandita Gangadasa was the 8th dear branch of the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who remembers his activities attains freedom from all bondage. Text 30. Chaitanya Parishada Sri Acharya Purandara Pitakari Hanri Bhale Goranga Sundara. Sri Acharya Purandara, the 9th branch, was a constant associate of Lord Chaitanya's. The Lord accepted him as his father. So it is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that whenever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Raghava Pandit, he also visited Purandara Acharya immediately after receiving an invitation. Purandara Acharya is to be considered most fortunate because the Lord used to greet him by addressing him as his father and embracing him in great love. Namadara Pandita Shaka Premeti Prachanda Prabhura Uparadyenho Kaila Vakya Danda. Damodar Pandit, the 10th branch of the Chaitanya tree, was so elevated in love of Lord Chaitanya that he once unhesitatingly chastised the Lord with strong words. Danda kata kahiveya gevastara kahiya dande tushta prabhutanre pathaila nadiya. Later in the Chaitanya Charitamrta, I shall describe this incident of chastisement in detail. The Lord, being very much satisfied by this chastisement, sent Damodar Pandit to Navadvipa. So Damodar Pandit, who was formerly known as Saibya in Brajadam, used to carry messages from Lord Chaitanya to Sachimata, and during the Rath Yatra festival, he carried the messages from Sachimata to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 33. Tanharanuja Saka Shankara Pandita Prabhu Padopadana Yanra Nama Vidita. The 11th branch, the younger brother of Damodar Pandit, was known as Shankara Pandit. He was celebrated as the shoes of the Lord. Sada Shiva Pandita Yanra Prabhu Padeyasha Pratyame Nichan Handera Yanra Garhivasa. Sadashiva Pandit, the 12th branch, was always eager to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. It was his good fortune when Lord Nityananda came to Navadvip, he resided at his house. It is mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Anchakanda, chapter 9, that Sadashiva Pandit was a pure devotee and that Nityananda Prabhu resided at his house. Shri Nrsinga Upasaka Pratyuna Brahmachari Prabhutanra Nama Kaila Nrsingananda Kari. The 13th branch was Prajuna Brahmachari. Since he was a worshipper of Lord Nrsingadev, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed his name to Nrsingananda Brahmachari. So purport, Prajuna Brahmachari is described in the Ansha Lila 2nd chapter of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. He was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya who changed his name to Nrsingananda. While coming from the house of Raghava Pandit at Panihati to the house of Shivananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the heart of Nrsingananda Brahmachari. To acknowledge this, Nrsingananda Brahmachari used to accept as eatables the food of 3 deities, namely Jagannath, Nrsingadev, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrta, Ansha Lila 2nd chapter, verses 48 through 78. Upon receiving information that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was proceeding toward Vrindavan from Kulia, Nrsingananda absorbed himself in meditation and by his mental activities began constructing a very nice road from Kulia to Vrindavan. All of a sudden, however, he broke his meditation and told the other devotees that this time Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not go to Vrindavan, but would travel only as far as the place known as Kanaya, not Shala. This is described in Madhya Lila chapter 1, verses 155 through 162. The Gauraganadesha Dipika 74 says, Aveshas ja tatagyo mishre prajuna sangyake. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed the name of Prajuna Mishra or Prajuna Brahmachari to Nrsingananda Brahmachari, for in his heart Lord Nrsingadeva was manifest. It is said that Lord Nrsingadeva used to talk with him directly. Wow. Narayana Pandita Ekabada Udara Chaitanya Charana Vinu Nahi Janehara. Narayana Pandit, the 14th branch, a great and liberal devotee, did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. Narayana Pandit was one of the associates of Srivas Thakur. It is mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Anchakanda, 8th chapter, verse 36, that he went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri with the Thakur's brother, Sri Rama Pandit. Shriman Panditat Shakka Prabhura Nijabricha Gyuti Dharinayavi Prabhu Karenan Richa. The 15th branch was Shriman Pandit, who was a constant servitor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to carry a torch while the Lord danced. Shriman Pandit was among the companions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when the Lord performed Sankirtan. When Lord Chaitanya dressed himself in the form of the goddess Lakshmi and danced in the streets of Navadvip, Shriman Pandit carried a torch to light the way. Shuklambara Brahmachari Vara Bhagyavan Yanra Unnamagi Kari Kaila Bhagavan. The 16th branch, Shuklambara Brahmachari, was very fortunate because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly or seriously begged food from him or sometimes snatched it from him and forcibly ate it. Purport, it is stated that Shuklambara Brahmachari, an inhabitant of Navadvip, was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first companion in the Sankirtan movement. When Lord Chaitanya returned from Gaya after initiation, he stayed with Shuklambara Brahmachari because he wanted to hear from this devotee about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Shuklambara Brahmachari collected alms of rice from the inhabitants of Navadvip, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took pleasure in eating the rice that he cooked. It is said that Shuklambara Brahmachari was one of the wives of the Yajnik Brahmanas during the time of Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavana. Lord Krishna begged food from the wives of the Yajnik Brahmanas, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed a similar pastime by begging rice from Shuklambara Brahmachari. Hold on. Nandana Acharya Shakka Jagate Vidita Lukaya Dvi Prabhurar Yanragare Stita. Nandana Acharya, the 17th branch of the Chaitanya tree, is celebrated within the world because of the two Prabhus, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, sometimes hid in his house. Nandanacharya was another companion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his kirtan pastimes in Navadvip. Srila Nityananda Prabhu, as Avaduta, traveled on many pilgrimages, and when he first came to Sri Navadvip Dhamma, he remained hidden in the house of Nandanacharya. It is there that he first met all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his Mahaprakasha, he asked Ramai Pandit to call Advaita Prabhu, who was hiding in the home of Nandanacharya, for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that he was hiding. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya also sometimes hid in the home of Nandanacharya. In this connection, one may refer to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Kanda, chapter 6, or chapters 6 and 17. Text 40. Shri Mukunda Datta Shaka Prabhura Samadhyahi Yanhara Kirtane Nache Chaitanya Goswami. Mukunda Datta, a class friend of Lord Chaitanya's, was another branch of the Chaitanya tree. Lord Chaitanya danced while he sang. Sri Mukunda Datta was born in the Chattagrama district in the village of Chanhara, which is under the jurisdiction of the police station named Patia. This village is situated 10 kroshas, or about 20 miles, from the home of Pundarika Vijayanidhi. In the Gaura Ganadesh Dipika 140, it is said, Brajes Tatao Gayaka Yo Madhukanta Madhu Vratao Mukunda Vasudeva Tahao Tatao Goranga Gaya Tao. In Braja, there are two very nice singers named Madhukanta and Madhuvrata. They appeared in Caitanya Lila as Mukunda and Vasudeva Datta, who were singers in the society of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Lord Chaitanya was a student, Mukunda Datta was his class friend, and they frequently engaged in logical arguments. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would fight with Mukunda Datta using tricks of logic. This is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda chapters 11 and 12. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya, Mukunda Datta gave him pleasure by reciting verses from Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna Lila. It was by his endeavor that Gadadhar Pandit Goswami became a disciple of Pundarik Vijayanidhi. We talked about that story in the last day or two. As stated in the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Majikanda chapter 7. When Mukunda Datta sang in the courtyard of Srivas Prabhu, Mahaprabhu danced with the singing, and when Lord Chaitanya for 21 hours exhibited an ecstatic manifestation known as Sata Pra Hariya, Mukunda Datta inaugurated the function by singing. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Mukunda Datta by calling him Kada Jatiya Veta, because he attended many functions held by different classes of non-devotees. This is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavat Majikanda chapter 10, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dressed himself as the goddess of fortune to dance in the house of Chandrasekhara. Mukunda Datta began the first song. Before disclosing his desire to take the renounced order of life, Lord Chaitanya first went to the house of Mukunda Datta, but at that time Mukunda Datta requested Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to continue his Sankirtan movement for a few days more before taking sannyas. This is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavat Majikanda chapter 26. The information of Lord Chaitanya's accepting the renounced order was made known to Gadadhar Pandit, Chandrasekharacharya, and Mukunda Datta by Nityananda Prabhu, and therefore all of them went to Katwa and arranged for kirtan and all the paraphernalia for Lord Chaitanya's acceptance of sannyas. After the Lord took sannyas, they all followed him, especially Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, and Mukunda Datta, who followed him all the way to Purushottama Kshetra. In this connection, one may refer to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Ancha Kanda, chapter 2. In the place known as Jaleshwara, Nityananda Prabhu broke the sannyas rod of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's from the Chaitanya Charitamrta Lila, first chapter, text 97. Mukunda Datta was also present at that time. He went every year from Bengal to see Lord Chaitanya at Jagannath Puri. So, Vasudeva Datta Prabhu Rubrija Mahashraya Sahasramukke Yanra Guna Kahile Nahaya. Vasudeva Datta, the 19th branch of the Sri Chaitanya tree, was a great personality and a most confidential devotee of the Lord. One could not describe his qualities even with thousands of mouths. Wow. Vasudeva Datta, the brother of Mukunda Datta, was also resident of Chattagrama. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said, Yanastane Krishna Goya, Apane Vikriya. Vasudeva Datta was such a powerful devotee that Krishna was purchased by him. Vasudeva Datta stayed at Srivas Prabhu Pandit's house, and in the Chaitanya Bhagavat it is described that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased with Vasudeva Datta and so affectionate toward him that he used to say, I am only Vasudeva Datta's man. My body is only meant to please Vasudeva Datta, and he can sell me anywhere. Thrice he vowed that this was a fact and no one should disbelieve these statements. All my dear devotees, he said, I tell you the truth, my body is especially meant for Vasudeva Datta. Vasudeva Datta initiated Sri Yadunandana Acharya, the spiritual master of Raghunath Das, who later became Raghunath Das Goswami. This will be found in the Caitanya Charitamrta until Lila, 6th chapter, verse 161. Vasudeva Datta spent money very liberally. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Shivananda Singh to become his Salakela, or secretary, in order to control his extravagant expenses. Vasudeva Datta was so kind to the living entities that he wanted to take all their sinful reactions so they might be delivered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is described in the 15th chapter of the Caitanya Charitamrta, Madhya Lila, verses 159 through 180. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhasha, there is a railway station named Purvasthali near the Navadvipa railway station, about 1 mile away, in a village known as Mamagachi, which is the birthplace of Vrindavan Das Thakur. There is presently a temple of Madana Gopal that was established by Vasudeva Datta. The Gaudiya Math devotees have now taken charge of this temple, and the Seva Puja is going on very nicely. Every year, all the pilgrimage on the Navadvipa Parikrama visit Mamagachi. Since Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur inaugurated the Navadvipa Parikrama function, the temple has been very well managed. So, actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Vasudeva Datta, what wish do you have? And Vasudeva Datta said, I wish that all the living entities would become free of all their sinful activities and all the bad karma and go back to God. And you can give me, of course that's Vasudeva Datta, not me, you can give me all their bad karma. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you are actually a manifestation of the Lord's compassion. So he's the most compassionate person, willing to suffer basically forever for the benefit of others. And that's the mood of a Vaishnava. Of course, no one can imitate Vasudeva Datta. He is in a very, very special position. So, Jagate yate ka jiva tara papalanha naraka bunjite chahe jiva chadaiha. Srila Vasudeva Datta wanted to suffer, here it is, with the sinful activities of all the people of the world so that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu might deliver them. Haridasa Thakur Shakara Adbhuta Charita Tina Laksha Nama Teno Layena Abhatita. The 20th branch of the Chaitanya tree was Haridas Thakur. His character was wonderful. He used to chant the holy name of Krishna 300,000 times a day without fail. That's getting close to 192 rounds. Not quite, but getting close to it. Certainly the chanting of 300,000 holy names of the Lord is wonderful. No ordinary person can chant so many names, nor should one artificially imitate Haridas Thakur's behavior. It is essential, however, that everyone fulfill a specific vow to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore, we have prescribed in our society that all of our students must chant at least 16 rounds daily. Such chanting must be offenseless in order to be of high quality. Mechanical chanting is not as powerful as chanting of the holy name without offenses. It is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Kanda, chapter 2, that Haridas Thakur was born in a village known as Budhara, but after some time came to live on the bank of the Ganges at Hulia, near Shantipura. From the description of his chastisement by a Muslim magistrate, which is found in the 16th chapter of the Adi Kanda of the Chaitanya Bhagavat, we can understand how humble and meek Haridas Thakur was, and how he achieved the causeless mercy of the Lord. In the dramas performed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Haridas Thakur played the part of a police chief. While chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Benapola, he was personally tested by Maya Devi herself. Haridas Thakur's passing away is described in the Ansha Lila of the Caitanya Charitamrta, 11th chapter. It is not definitely certain whether Sri Haridas Thakur appeared in the village named Budana, that is in the district of Kulna. Formerly, this village was within a district of 24 parganas within the Satakshira division. So, of course, Haridas Thakur, he was assigned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be basically the acharya or main teacher of the chanting of Krishna's holy names. And interestingly enough, he appeared in a Muslim family. And that really agitated all the Muslims when he started chanting Hare Krishna and was so dedicated to chanting Hare Krishna that at one point he was captured and asked to stop. And he was threatened with death or with whipping. And basically he didn't stop. And therefore, he was whipped in 22 marketplaces. And as he was being whipped in 22 marketplaces, he did not experience any pain nor stop the chanting. And the people who were whipping him, the servants of the Nawab Hussein Shah, who was the main Muslim in charge of the government at that particular time, became very, very worried. Why? Because they had been given orders to kill him or get him to stop chanting, one of the two. There was no other option. And so they were very worried and anxiety. And Haridas Thakur turned to them and he said, "Why are you in so much anxiety?" And they described their plight. "We're really going to get in trouble now." And Haridas Thakur said, "No problem. I will take care of it." And using his mystic powers, he made himself or made his body seem that he had died. So he slowed down his breath, slowed down the heartbeat so much that everyone thought he had died. And so these people who were whipping him went to the Nawab Hussein Shah and said, "What should we do with the body?" And the Nawab Hussein Shah said, "Don't burn his body, because if you burn it, according to the Hindus, he goes back to the spiritual world. So just throw it in the river." So they threw the body of Haridas Thakur in the river, and he floated down the river a little bit, and then after the mystic trance was over, he got up out of the river and started chanting again. And he became famous at that particular point. Many, many stories about Haridas Thakur. There's a story of Haridas Thakur and the prostitute. A prostitute was sent to try to lure him away, to get him to fall down from his determination. But after 3 days, he initiated the prostitute, and the prostitute became a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A very similar thing had happened with Maya Devi, Krishna's illusory energy, that she tried to trick Haridas Thakur, but after 3 days, she also took initiation from Haridas Thakur. He was so potent. Many, many stories. And when Haridas Thakur left this planet, that is, he left his body, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally performed the funeral ceremony. In fact, he danced. It's the only person I can think of he ever danced with the body of. He danced with Haridas Thakur's body. And he personally interred Haridas Thakur's body in the ground. So, and if you go to Jagannath Puri, you can visit Haridas Thakur's samadhi, that means his burial place, and also the place where he chanted Hare Krishna. That's called the Siddha Bakul, after the Siddha Bakul tree, the perfect Bakul tree. So, let's continue. Tanharananta guna kahi din matra acharya goshani arai punjaya shradapatra. There's no end to the transcendental qualities of Haridas Thakur. Here I mentioned but a fraction of his qualities. He was so exalted that Advaitacharya, when performing the Shraddha ceremony of his father, offered him the first plate. So this Shraddha ceremony is done on the anniversary of someone's passing away, and generally the first plate of prasadam is offered to the best spiritualist, the best Brahmin. And Advaitacharya decided to offer it to Haridas Thakur, who he considered to be the best Brahmin, even though Haridas Thakur was not born in a Brahmin family, was born basically in a Muslim family. This was quite revolutionary. Devotees actually are very revolutionary in their approach to Krishna consciousness. They don't always look at the form, they look at the essence. Palada samana tanra gunhera taranga yamana tadaneo yanranahika pruvanga. The waves of his good qualities were like those of Prahlad Maharaj. He did not even slightly raise an eyebrow when persecuted by the Muslim ruler. I told that story a few seconds ago. Tain ho siddhi paile, tanradeha lana kolhe, nachila Caitanya Prabhu, mahakutuhale. After the passing away of Haridas Thakur, the Lord himself took his body on his lap and danced with it in great ecstasy. I just told that story too. Tanra Lila Varniyachena Vrindavana Das Yeva Abhashishta Hage Kariva Prakasha. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has vividly described the pastimes of Haridas Thakur in his Caitanya Bhagavat. Whatever has remained undescribed, I shall explain later in this book. Tanra Upashaka Yatta Kulina Grami Janha Satya Raja Hari Tanra Kripara Bhajana. One sub-branch of Haridas Thakur consisted of the residents of Kulina Grama. The most important among them was Satya Raja Khan or Satya Raja Vasu, who was a recipient of all the mercy of Haridas Thakur. Satya Raja Khan was the son of Guna Raja, that's right, Khan, and father of Ramananda Vasu. Haridas Thakur lived for some time during the Chaturmasha period in the village named Kulina Grama, where he chanted the holy name, namely Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and distributed his mercy to the descendants of the Vasu family. Satya Raja Khan was allotted the service of supplying silk ropes for the Jagannath deity during the Rath Yatra festival. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's answers to his inquiries about the duty of household devotees are vividly described in the Madhya Lila, chapter 15 and 16. The village of Kulina Grama is situated 2 miles from the railway station named Jao Grama on the new cord line from Howrah to Burdwan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very highly praised the people of Kulina Grama, and he stated that even a dog of Kulina Grama was very dear to him. Shri Murari Gupta Shaka Premera Bandara Prabhura Hridaye Draveshu Nidainya Yanra. Murari Gupta, the 21st branch of the tree of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was a storehouse of love of Godhead. His great humility and meekness melted the heart of Lord Chaitanya. Sri Murari Gupta wrote a book called Sri Caitanya Charitamrta. He belonged to the Vaidya physician family of Sri Hata, the paternal home of Lord Chaitanya, and later became a resident of Navadvipa. He was among the elders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya exhibited his Varaha form as described. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat Majjhikanda, 3rd chapter, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his Mahaprakash form, that means the form as God, he appeared before Murari Gupta as Lord Ramachandra. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu were sitting together in the house of Srivas Thakur, Murari Gupta first offered his respects to Lord Chaitanya and then to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu, however, was older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore Lord Chaitanya remarked that Murari Gupta had violated social etiquette, for he should have first shown respect to Nityananda Prabhu and then to him. In this way, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Murari Gupta was informed about the position of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and the next day he offered obeisances first to Lord Nityananda and then to Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave chewed pan or betel nut to Murari Gupta. Once Shivananda Sain offered food to Lord Chaitanya that had been cooked with excessive ghee, and the next day the Lord became sick and went to Murari Gupta for treatment. Lord Chaitanya accepted some water from the water pot of Murari Gupta, and thus he was cured. The natural remedy for indigestion is to drink a little water, and since Murari Gupta was a physician, he gave the Lord some drinking water and cured him. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the house of Srivas Thakur in his Chaturbhuja Murti, that means 4-armed form, Murari Gupta became his carrier in the form of Garuda, and in these pastimes of ecstasy, the Lord then got up on his back. It was the desire of Murari Gupta to leave his body before the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but the Lord forbade him to do so. This is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Majjhikanda, chapter 20. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day appeared in ecstasy as the Varaha Murti, Murari Gupta offered him prayers. He was such a great devotee of Lord Ramchandra, and his staunch devotion is vividly described in the Caitanya Charitamrta, Majja Lila, 15th chapter, verses 137 through 157. So both Murari Gupta and the brother of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami named Anupama were great devotees of Lord Ramchandra. And both of them did not succumb to attempts to convert them to exclusive Krishna Bhakti. They couldn't stop chanting the names of Lord Ramchandra. And even when requested, as in the case of Murari Gupta by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or in the case of Anupa by Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they just started crying and they couldn't give up their loyalty to Lord Ramchandra. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praised their loyalty. He is a great servant who will not give up his master, and a great master, he said, who will not give up his servant. So Murari Gupta is a very special personality. He was a physician and accompanied the Lord in many of his pastimes. Pratiguraha nahi kare nalaya karadana atmavritti kare kare kutumba bharana. Srila Murari Gupta never accepted charity from friends, nor did he accept money from anyone. He practiced as a physician and maintained his family with his earnings. It should be noted that a Grahastha householder must not make his livelihood by begging from anyone. Every householder of the higher caste should engage himself in his own occupational duty as a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, but he should not engage in the service of others, for this is the duty of a Shudra. One should simply accept whatever he earns by his own profession. The engagements of a Brahmin are yajan, yojan, patan, patan, dana, and pratigraha. A Brahmin should be a worshipper of Vishnu, and he should also instruct others how to worship him. A Kshatriya can become a landholder and earn his livelihood by levying taxes or collecting rent from tenants. A Vaishya can accept agriculture or general trade as an occupational duty. Since Murari Gupta was born in a physician's family, Vaidya Ongcha, he practiced as a physician, and with whatever income he earned, he maintained his family. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, everyone should try to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the execution of his occupational duty. That is the perfection of life. This system is called Daivi Varnashrama. Murari Gupta was an ideal Grahastha, for he was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By practicing as a physician, he maintained his family and at the same time satisfied Lord Chaitanya to the best of his ability. This is the ideal of household life. Okay, so we'll stop here and we will allow whoever wants to ask questions to ask questions. Just 1 second while I unmute everybody. 1 second. Okay, who wants to ask questions? Does anybody want to ask questions? No one wants to ask questions.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. This is Rishikesh.
Oh, Rishikesh, okay. You have some questions?
Yes, Gurudev. I just wanted to know, is because of Vasudev that blessing, that does it mean that everyone in this Kali Yuga will be delivered because of his desire?
Anyone who wants to be delivered will be delivered. But those who don't want to be delivered, they have free will and they can choose to stay here in this material world. They have because of him, And because of Lord Chaitanya, and because of Lord Nityananda, and all the merciful devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we're all given the opportunity, like Prabhupada has given us the opportunity too. So it's not just Murari Gupta, it's all these great devotees.
Okay.
We're all given the opportunity to become, whoops, let me mute this devotee. Okay. We're all given the opportunity to become Krishna conscious, but we have to choose that opportunity or take that opportunity.
Okay.
So it's not a free ride. It's not, you can say, hey, Murari Gupta's taking all the sins on his head and I don't have to do anything. Haribol. I can get away with any damn thing because, Murari Gupta. It's just like in certain religions, they say that so and so died for their sins. Well, someone can suffer your sins, yeah. He can take your sins, but you have to stop sinning. Just like that story in the Christian Bible where there were people who were killing a prostitute. They were actually stoning her. That means throwing stones at her. And Jesus Christ interfered. He said, he who is without sins, let him throw the first stone. And then he said to the lady, sin no more. So that's important. So even though you may have great devotees like Vasudev Dutt who can take away all of our sins, that if we take advantage of that and continue sinning, then it doesn't work anymore.
Okay, that makes
One,
sense.
yeah, one time you can go. Yeah, you can go. It's like sinning on the strength of chanting. You come to Krishna consciousness, you start chanting, okay, finished, boss. All of your sins, all the karmic reactions, gone. And you think, great, this is fantastic. I just have to chant Hare Krishna. And I get rid of all the karmic reactions just once a day, chant the holy names, and I can do anything I want the rest of the day. It doesn't work like that. It will not function in such a way. So, yes, you're given the opportunity, but you have to take the opportunity. Yeah?
But what about other religions, who are not aware of this Krishna consciousness, like like Catholics or Muslims?
Yeah.
They follow their own religion. So what happens to them?
Well, if they follow what their original preceptor taught, and they exhibit saintly qualities and they worship God and they glorify God, they can eventually come to Krishna consciousness. They can
Okay.
eventually come to God consciousness. So, I mean, there are many sincere Christians and sincere Muslims. And there are many sincere Vaishnavas. But it's not that everybody who says they're a devotee, who says they're devotees, are actually sincere. So it's not just because that we have this higher knowledge that we're better than anyone else. We have to follow, and then we get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay?
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you so much.
Okay, who else has a question? It's an opportunity for everybody to ask a question because I don't think Pan Govind is on tonight.
Here, Maharaj.
Oh, you are? Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I'm
hiding.
just driving. No, I'm not
Oh,
hiding, Maharaj. I'm just driving to the program. But I have a question, Maharaj.
okay.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada.
All glories to Prabhupada.
Maharaj, I have two questions. One question is, what is this hiding place of Nandanacharya that Mahaprabhu hid, Nityananda Prabhu hid, Advaita Acharya also tried to hide? What is the specialty about hiding the same spot?
You'll have to ask Lord Chaitanya that question. I know that the house is on the outskirts of Sridham Mayapur. You've been to the house, right?
Yes,
So you know where it is.
but
It's
I
on the
don't know.
outskirts.
No, but why they want to hide there? What is the specialty about Nandanacharyas?
Because it's on the outside of the village. Besides that, I don't know. It's on the outside, of the
Oh,
village.
I see.
So it's easier to hide there. Like if you hide in the middle of a city, it's kind of hard. But I don't know
Oh,
why they picked Nandanacharya's house. I know there's an interesting story when Lord Nityananda first came to the Navadvip area. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed, before he met Lord Nityananda that particular time, he had a dream. And in that dream, he said, my elder brother Balaram appeared before me. And he's somewhere, everyone should try to find him. So everyone went all around the Navadvip area. Nobody could find him. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I know where he is. And he led everybody to Nandanacharya's house. And
so
they
there must be
embraced him.
some speciality.
I don't know. You'll have to ask Lord Chaitanya next time you see him.
Thank you for blessing me that. By your mercy, I hope someday I'll meet him. Maharaj,
Yes,
my question is, thank you. No, really, I appreciate Maharaj, your blessing. You are wonderful, sir. In Mahaprakash or Srivas Thakur's house,
yeah.
Jagai Madai, who was a Joy Vijay, gatekeeper of Vaikuntha, what
Yeah.
was their relishing through this confidential kirtan, sankirtan, that Premaras of Vrindavan? Did they change their position? You mentioned nicely about Hanuman and Anupam. They did not Mahaprabhu appreciated.
There's
I
no
was
information. There's no information that I have about that. I mean,
Mhm.
they were given the service of building the ghat, the Madai ghat,
Yes, yes.
and then at another time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed how he had taken the sins of Jagai and Madai and he turned blackish. You remember that?
Yes, yes.
And then he said to the devotees, "What do I look like?" And all the devotees said, "You look like
Krishna.
Krishna now." And then Lord Chaitanya said, "Chant Hare Krishna." And then when they chanted Hare Krishna, he resumed his normal golden appearance. Let's go
Mm.
Hare.
So my
Anyway,
question is that so Hanumanji, as Murari Gupta, they also
yeah,
participated Harinam Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu.
yes,
And
of
obviously
course.
there is something higher taste than Ram Bhajan.
Oh my God, don't offend the devotees of Lord
Maharaj,
Ram.
Maharaj Prabhupada said that in Madhya Lila 9th chapter on Venkata Bhatta and Lord Chaitanya's discussion,
Yeah,
that one sloka quoted Mahaprabhu's in order to resolve the chastity of Lakshmi Devi's,
yeah,
not that
yeah,
resolving, she is the chaste. So it says, Siddhantastu abhedapi Srisha Krishna Sarupayo Rasana Utkrishyate Esha Krishna Rupam Rasha Sthiti. And I
yes.
remember Prabhupada's translation, he said, as per transcendental realization, there is no difference between Narayan and Lord Ram, but or Lord Krishna,
Lord
Krishna,
Krishna, yeah,
Srisha
yeah.
Krishna. But as per transcendental mellow, there is a vast difference.
Yes, there is. So what's the question?
So, well, they were relishing obviously higher than Narayan Bhakti in Vaikuntha as a Joy Vijay's or Hanumanji's Ram Bhakti.
So what is
Or
the
am I
question?
speculating? Well, I'm
No,
just
well,
wondering like,
the point is that Lord Chaitanya praised Murari Gupta and also Anupama for their loyalty. If someone is devoted to their worshipable deity, Ishtadeva, then that loyalty or devotion overcomes even one's emotions or one's bhav or experiences, spiritual experiences, because that's love. Just let's say, okay, let me give you an example. I mean, I hope this is not too mundane. Let's say a man is married to a lady and she is not so pretty. How about that one? I didn't use the you word, the ugly word. Anyway, she's all right. She looks all right, but she's not like fantastic. And so then he becomes aware of some beautiful lady on TV, whatever, Rani Mukherjee. So anyway, he go, so, but he doesn't really want to think about that beautiful lady because he loves his wife. He's attached to his wife, even though he's aware that that beautiful lady is more beautiful than his wife.
Mm.
Or a woman who is attached to her husband. Every woman who's attached to her husband must be aware that there is someone more handsome than her husband, right? I mean, that's common sense. But
Yeah.
she doesn't concentrate on any other man because of her loyalty or devotion to her husband. And that's what Lord Chaitanya praised Anupama and Murari Gupta for, their loyalty. That's love. Whoops.
I see. I see. So
Yeah,
they can participate, but they do not give up their loyalty.
that's right. That's love.
Okay, that makes
That's
sense.
that's love. I mean that's what love means. That you're intensely loyal, even though someone may be more handsome or pretty or more intelligent. You know, that's loyalty. And
But we noticed that sometime like Mother Devaki cried, thinking of Joshoda's affection for Krishna
yeah,
is more than her.
that's
Kind
right.
of like disturbed sometime.
Yeah, but she was
I
loyal. She's loyal. One of the overriding quality of a devotee is loyalty. Let's say one is initiated by a particular spiritual master. There may be another spiritual master who's more, let's say, a better Sanskrit scholar, or more intelligent, or better sings better than one spiritual master, but one remains loyal to one spiritual master.
That is true. That is true.
That's the important thing, that the quality of loyalty to one's guru, to one's Ishtadevata. I mean, that's really, I would say it's an essential quality in Krishna consciousness. I mean, I've seen, oh my God, no politics. Anyway, I've seen that sometimes, let's say when Prabhupada left the planet, people thought that they should just like find someone to substitute for Prabhupada for them.
Yeah.
That's disloyalty. I mean, obviously you can go and see other people. We're not saying like that. I mean, just like when Prabhupada left the planet, I visited some of Prabhupada's godbrothers, but I saw them in light of being the brother of my spiritual master. I never thought that anyone else could sit in my heart the same way that Srila Prabhupada was sitting in my heart. Even if they
Thank you. That's
even if they were fantastic Sanskrit experts or whatever, or whatever they were, it's just not. There's no question there wasn't any room for anybody else in the same way.
that's
I mean,
wonderful. That's
yeah, we love everybody and we see everybody, but I would see everybody as being connected to Prabhupada. Not that anyone could substitute for Prabhupada. I mean, it's like a chaste wife. All right, let's say the husband leaves the planet. She doesn't go around looking for someone else to get married to, does she? Either she
well,
jumps in
sometimes,
the.
yeah,
I know
that's
sometimes. But, in the original Vedic culture we're talking about, not
correct. Yes, Maharaj.
not now. In the
No,
original Vedic
yeah.
culture, she would either enter into the fire because she couldn't bear to lose the person. I'm that sort of love and loyalty you don't find so much anymore. Once in a while, even among the non-devotees, you sometimes find this. once in a while. Just like you hear stories about two people are married for 80 years, the man dies, and the woman dies like 1 hour later out of separation from.
Yeah, soon after. You are right. Yes, Maharaj, that's true.
So that sort of loyalty, devotion, dedication is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciated in Murari Gupta. So it's not a question that, yes, Krishna is a higher understanding, more complete understanding, more nectar or anything like that. It's just not a question of that. There's a question of servitude and loyalty. See that? So most of the time, people think that we're simply interested in our own pleasure in Krishna consciousness, but we're interested in the pleasure of the personality of Godhead whom we are worshiping. And even in Krishna's pastimes, you have devotees who are more interested in Radharani's pleasure than Krishna's pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of Radharani's associates. And they get angry with Krishna when Krishna disturbs Radharani. And you have some devotees who are primarily Balaram's devotees, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
I mean, their initial. I mean, they know the philosophy. They know Krishna is Tu Bhagavan Swayam, but they are primarily focused on Balaram. So you have different loyalties like that, and the whole principle of Krishna consciousness is to be loyal to one's worshipable deity. Just like the principle of a chaste woman is to be loyal to her husband. Principle of a chaste husband. Sorry, I have to be equal nowadays. The principle of a chaste husband is to be loyal to his wife. You know, that's loyal. I mean, to me, that's the most important quality is loyalty. Anyway, to me, that's my personal, humble opinion. Okay, thank you for your question.
Maharaj,
Okay,
Maharaj,
yeah.
this is an excellent expression the way you have explained. I really appreciate that, Maharaj. I haven't
thank you.
heard this kind of talk in a long time. This, I hope
Well.
everybody got it. This is wonderful. This loyalty to Prabhupada you have. You are igniting fire within our heart to remain that with conviction to Prabhupada's lotus feet. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, somehow or other, someone should put out the fire in my heart, fire of material existence.
You have, Maharaj. You are giving us. Sorry.
Bless me that I can get into an airplane and fly somewhere.
Krishna.
Maybe I'll probably want to fly to Sacramento. So I got the vaccine, so I can come to Sacramento. So watch out, Nilacho.
Maharaj, you are truly a wonderful, sincere, dedicated devotee of Prabhupada. Thank you.
All right. I wanted to go to New Orleans, but then everybody got the COVID virus in New Orleans, so I can't even go there.
Oh, Krishna.
But I'm ready to travel, but no, and you can't go overseas. I want to go to Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, but they don't allow any foreigners in there. No.
You
Okay.
can come to Alacho, Maharaj.
Alachua. Oh my God. No, I'll go to Disneyland first. Okay, so. All right.
You're funny too.
Will you
All right,
take more?
someone has one question. I hear it.
My name is Loka. My name is Loka. I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
My question, Maharaj, thank you for class. My question is, so there was such a nice discussion at the end of the reading about the Grahastha ashram. Are we to understand that we can perfect our devotional life in any of the ashrams? Or if we're in the Grahastha ashram, should we be seeking to become more and more renounced? Or is it really, as you were just talking now about loyalty and consciousness in focusing on the Supreme Lord, no matter what the ashram is?
That's right. That one should focus on loyalty to Guru and Krishna, and it doesn't matter the ashram. And that's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. And the taking of sannyas is not even allowed in Kali Yuga, except for extreme circumstances, for preaching, or if someone is dysfunctional like me. I mean, that's a joke. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. Grahevani, Tako, and I forget the Bengali for it. But anyway, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised householders to just stay in their homes. Stani stata shrutikatam panvan manobir. Stay where you are and just chant the holy names. The holy names are so potent. And one should be loyal to the people that they have a relationship with. Yeah, that's very important. One's in household life, they should be loyal to their husband, wife, children, guru. I mean, this is extremely important. What is the use of renunciation? We're supposed to get attached to Krishna. And automatically, Rasa Varjam, Rasa Pyusha, Param Jashtani Bhartate, automatically, whatever detachment we're supposed to have, we'll get. You don't get detached by becoming detached. You get detached by becoming attached to Krishna. So our whole point is to become attached to Krishna, and then automatically, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asubhai Rogyam Jnanam Yad Charyad Hoitukam. And then also Yashasti Bhakti Bhagavati Kinchana Savar Kanas Tatra Samasate Sura. Rabba Bhaktasha Kato Mahadguna Manorite Nasati Davato Vihi. So thank you for your question, Loka. So
through the
anyway,
process,
what's that?
I was going to say through the process we become detached. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, by becoming attached to Krishna and devotees. Actually, Lord Kapila says the same attachment that binds one to the material world, if one becomes attached to the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, whatever, any devotee of the Lord, then that same attachment can free one from the material world. So, okay,
Thank
just
you,
one announcement before we end. Tomorrow, it is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. We'll be speaking about Advaita Acharya. Maybe we'll do a little slideshow during the same time slot. And so we'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, same station. Thank you very much. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premananda. Hold on a second.